Good morning. Today we are doing the Uddhava Gita. This is chapter 6, the last message of Sri Krishna. We had completed 4 verses so far, so we are moving on to the 5th one. Uddhava Gita, chapter 6, verse 5 onwards, the last message of Sri Krishna. Now I am relating to you the difference between the bound and the free soul, endowed with opposite qualities and living in the same abode, the body. Yesterday we had discussed about liberation and bondage. We just introduced the topic of liberation and bondage. So Sri Krishna is now going to give an example relating to the human being itself. Now, when we talk of the word soul, what exactly are we discussing over here? The soul, S-O-U-L, soul, is called Atma. Please understand that there are no S-O-U-L-S, that means there are no souls. Because there is only one soul, and that one soul is called the Param Atma. Alright? Now, one soul cannot be cut into small pieces to have a small soul. Alright? So, we call it Jivatma. It is just a representation. There is no such thing as an individual soul. Now, when we talk of soul, what is it that is within any human being? Human being, as I discussed, is a body. Let us just take it as a body. The body has the spirit. Now, when we say the word spirit, it is normally to be termed as a spirit soul. The reason is it is called Jeev and Atma together. Both of them are actually working hand in hand. Are they different? They are not different. If I give an example of how this works, let us say there is a chairman of a company or a top boss of a company. Now, we have heard of Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway. His company is very big and so on and so forth. So now think about him. We say that Berkshire Hathaway is equal to Warren Buffett. Okay? Let's just think about it like that. He is the soul. Alright? Now, does he involve himself in day-to-day activity physically? The answer is no. He has got people. That means he has his spirit within the organization which runs it. That means it is the way in which he wants to run. See, they have a philosophy. The philosophy is buying, selling, doing all kinds of things in the organization. It's a philosophy. And they will follow the philosophy very diligently. It is called the spirit of the organization. So is the spirit there in that organization? Of course it is there. Is the top boss there in the organization? Of course he is there. Now, if I have an individual person who may be the CEO or a CFO or a CTO or whoever is running inside that, the physical work that he is doing, it's like a body. And the body has the essence of the person at the top. He has given him what he is supposed to do. Alright. Now, this is how you have to describe the spirit, the soul, the Paramatma, and all these things. It is also described as a reflection of the sun in a mirror. Is the sun actually there in the mirror? No, it is a reflection of the sun. Does the properties of the sun, are they reflected inside that? Yes, the heat will be felt. And whatever the sun is doing, that can be seen in the mirror. Suppose I crack the mirror. Hundreds of pieces are there. Every piece will have its own sun image. So that is how the spirit is defined. Now, when we come to this next part where Krishna is saying that relating to this difference, bound and free, how is he going to say? Endowed with opposite qualities, living in the same abode. So, these qualities which are staying in the same body, one body, that means with the 5 sheaths and 3 layers of body. Assume this is the one we are talking about. Now when we discuss about him, he is bound on one side and he is free on one side. How is he bound and free? It's in the same body, the person can be bound as well as free. Now the examples will follow with a story. So verse 6 says, 2 birds which look alike and are friends have casually come and built their nest in a tree. One of these eat the fruits of that tree, while the other, though not taking any fruit, is greater in strength. So, what happens over here is the tree. What is the tree? The tree. We are the tree. The body is the tree. Now, in this tree, there are 2 birds. They look alike. By the way, there is no difference between a bound soul and a free soul. They both look alike. It is you yourself, okay? Just think like that. It is you yourself, you are bound as well as free. Now, these are 2 birds. Now, one bird, what does he do? He eats everything that is there. That means he partakes of an activity. He will do whatever that happens to him. Alright? That means if he says, this bird, he says, I want to study. So he will study. Then he will say that I want to join a company, earn money, get married, settle down, have kids, have a house, have properties, cars, this, that, jewelry, gold, you name it, everything this person wants. What else this person is having? Diseases, afflictions, money problems. Can you see? This same person who is running after things is also having problems which are like this. Now, when I was talking about him getting married, he has relationship issues. Alright? Relationship issues are like, it's like a everyday story. Alright? And he has issues with the government, the taxation, the water supply, to the electricity board, to weather and everything. You open the television and he is there in every problem that is there. This is the person. He is called a bound person. Bound. He is indulging himself in everything. He is the one who eats the fruit of that tree. Somebody who eats the fruit of the tree means the person who is partaking of all activities. Now, when the word activities come, doesn't it tell you it is called karma also? So he is involved in all karmic activities. When he sleeps also, he thinks, I am going to sleep. When he wakes up also, oh, he'll do like this. And he'll wake up and he'll think, I should have a cup of tea or coffee. Or he'll look at the watch and say, oh my God, I'm late to work. Okay. Every day is a story for him. And it is all different story. So this is a bound soul. He is bound by everything around him. Right from morning alarm clock, the time that he gets up, the phone has an alarm. So he will be looking at the phone. Oh, it's already 6:30 or 7 o'clock. I have to be rushing to work. He is bound by eating something. He is bound by taking the car out and going to work. The traffic, I tell you, the traffic is so bad. And he is bound by the radio, the news that is going on, or the radio. There is a traffic jam between this place to this place. Okay, today the weather is so bad. And he's thinking, oh my God, today I wish there was no rain. Alright? Or in USA or some such place, he'll say, too much of snow. And maybe if he's in Africa, the heat is too much, it's stifling. So can you imagine, wherever he is, he has his issues. Okay, when he goes to work, he's thinking, last evening I was not able to complete my task. Today in the morning, my boss is bound to ask me. Before he asks me, I got to go rush and complete the whole thing. And the boss meets him in the corridor itself or in the lift, and he says, good morning. And he says, oh my God, I hope he doesn't ask me for those things. See? Afraid. The person is afraid, is always having issues, is angry with things. The toast got burnt, he is angry. The idlis have become very hard. Why are the idlis hard? The chutney is not good, okay? The chutney is very tikha. It has no salt in it. He has got issues. In everything, the person has something or the other. Or he will say, the dosa came out very well. What are you saying? This is called a bound soul. A bound soul has got indulgences in everything. So from work to his wife calling him and saying, when you come back home today, those onions have become 120 rupees kilo. You please buy from the Ninja cart, half a kg of onions. They are available for 50 rupees half kilo. That is, and this guy is looking at it. My God, I have to buy onions. That means I have to stop the car somewhere in the middle. That means, I don't know the parking is there or not there. He's thinking of all these things. Oh, Black Friday sale is going on. I want to see how much is that iPhone available for. Oh my, what is he doing? Can you imagine? The person is so much engrossed in his day to day. I gave you an example of a common man just now, a young person. Think of an older person. He gets up in the morning and he says, I have to do a 6-kilometer run today. Okay? While going on the way, he will look at everybody. See, these people, these idiots, they don't know, they are crowding this place so much. Wow. Nobody seems to get up nowadays, and those who get up are just sitting over there and chatting away. They don't know how it means to, increase their stamina, run, and when they come to my age, they will understand. What? When they come to your age, they will understand? And he is not running or he is not going just like that. He is thinking, today I have to go and draw my pension. He's thinking like that. He's thinking of going and drawing pension. Today is the first, no? But today is a Sunday. Tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning, I'll go to the bank and draw my pension. What? He is constantly thinking. indulging himself in karmic action. I hope you understood the bound soul. This is the bird who is partaking of everything that happens around him. Now we will discuss the free one. Before we discuss the free one, let us move to the next verse, because the next verse covers the free one also. He says in the last of this verse number 6, he says, he is not taking of the fruit, but is greater in strength. So this other bird which is there is greater in strength. So how is he greater in strength? Let us see. Verse 7 says, Uddhava Gita chapter 6 verse 7, that which does not partake of the fruit is wise and knows itself as well as the other, but not so the one that eats the fruit. That which is tied in ignorance is always bound, while that which is full of knowledge is eternally free. So now we are discussing the second bird. The second bird is called the free bird. And where is he? In the same tree. And what is the tree? Tree is this body of ours. We have 5 sheaths, 3 coverings, like 3 bodies. If you remember that, one is the gross body, the top one, the one below it is called the subtle, and then the causal body. All these 3 bodies together. These birds, these 2 birds are sitting in the same body. Now don't go to search for a bird inside your body, okay? Otherwise you will say, Guruji said there was a bird inside me. Who is this Tweety bird over? It is a way of describing spiritual, okay? And Krishna is giving these birds examples. First one is bound. Now the second one who is free. How does this free bird react? The free bird says, well, you got to study. You got to go to college. Yeah. You got to get up early in the morning. You got to go to work. Okay. I can just watch this idiot doing all those things. Who is this idiot? The bound bird. Now you will say, how is it that there is a free bird inside and a bound bird outside, inside? Well, think about it. Haven't you yourself spoken? What is this I am doing? Every day I get up at the same time. I am so tired early in the morning also. Even if I get up at 6:30 in the morning also, I feel tired. Look at that bird. He is tired every day. Not a single day goes in his life when he can get up with a smile. He has got a castor oil face, When you take castor oil, the face that a person has, exactly like that. He gets up like this. He has no strength in his body. He feels like, I have to get up, like that kind of a bird. I can see him. He's like a foolish person. So this is a person inside of you who is observing you. Do you understand? This person inside of you, this bird, is observing you. He can see all the stupidity that you are doing. He's a wise bird. He doesn't get involved in an activity that I got to collect my pension. Today is the first. Anyway, this idiot bird is going to go and collect the pension, okay? I don't have to bother my head about it. The boss is anyway going to give him firing because he couldn't complete his task yesterday. There, you got it? He feels that, sleeping away will take away all his problems. I know very well, sleeping away, the problem of his never goes away. Okay. Some people think, that, if I smoke, I'll get a proper toilet. No, that doesn't happen. He's addicted. Some other bird will say, no, when I drink, all my problem goes away. Where does it go away? Any idiot in this world will tell you, by drinking your problems are not going to go away, by smoking your problems are not going to go away. On the contrary, they will double themselves. It is understood. Is it not understood by everybody that these are the wrong things that they are doing? I think everybody knows this. You know very well that you have to get up at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and still you are getting up at 6 and 6:30 and 7 o'clock. Doesn't that tell you, that bird inside tell you? He knows it very well that he's supposed to get up early. And yet, look at that bound bird. The birdie num num. He gets up at his own time and then curses. Doesn't do any work, then curses. Has to get onions from there at 100 rupees. The whole world is buying onions at 100 rupees in India. So what is the big deal? Why are you making such a big fuss over it? Everybody has to do that. Everybody has to get up. Everybody has a problem. Everybody has their enemies. Everybody has friends. What is the big deal? You know what it is? It is just like a dream. A dream will come where your parents are saying, oh, we are getting you married. There are some people, they get dreams like this when they think that, oh my God, I'm getting married. And then what happens to them? In the dream only they are wondering, now what is going to happen to me? See, it's a dream. And this bird, which is knowledgeable, says, it was only a dream. You get the point? It is only a dream. So this bird, which does not partake of the fruit, that particular fruit, is wise. Is wise bird. And the other, which does so, is foolish. Now this foolish bird is a bird who partakes of all the activities. And the one who is wise is only having the knowledge. And the knowledge is, everything is just a dream. Alright? So, and that bird is tied up in ignorance. Every day, same story. Every month, same story. The whole life is just one big nonsensical story. It is known to the intelligent bird. To the foolish one, doesn't understand, indulges in activities, feels bad about it, feels good about it, and all that. We are moving to the next verse. The wise one, even though in the body, is not of it. Like a man awakened from dream, but the foolish one, even though not in the body, is yet of it, like one seeing a dream. Just now we discussed about a dream only. So the wise one says, it was just a dream. And the foolish one says, oh my God, I am getting married. In day-to-day world, I have to go to work. I have to submit my papers. I have to travel out today. I have to buy my new phones. I have to pay for my electricity bill. Today is the first. I have to pay the rentals. This is what this foolish bird talks. Always, constantly. Jibbit, jibbit, jabber, jabber, jibbit, jibbit, jabber. It's just going on and on and on and on. Over time, the person becomes crazy. Because even in their dreams, they are thinking, today is the first. I got to pay the rent. Today is the first. I have to pay the electricity bill. Today is the first. I have to pay my EMIs. That is what they are thinking. Constantly in that track. Or, I have to take my tablets. I have to take my, injections. I have to go for my this checkup. I have to go for my that checkup. So this wise one has a very clear understanding that it is just a foolish notion which this idiot bird is having. He thinks too much and talks too much and gets involved in it so much. Somebody said something, he gets involved. Why is it? Why does this foolish one not understand that these things are not happening? They are just like a dream, and the dream actually is not there. The foolish one indulges in activities, constantly thinking this is happening and that is happening and this has happened and that has happened. And I am in trouble and I have money problems, I have this problem. The foolish one thinks like that. The wise one says, the knowledge will tell me that this is not so. And the wise one says, I do not stay in the body. I do not stay in the body, the wise one says. Why? Because he is just an observer. You see, when you are an observer, you are outside the system, isn't it? When you observe somebody, when you are watching a movie, you are an observer. You are watching the movie. You are not a person who is in the movie. So the wise one knows he is just an observer in the film. The film is there, right there on the screen. So the foolish one is acting in the film. Alright? So we move to the next one. This is Uddhava Gita, chapter 6, last message of Shri Krishna, verse 9. When the organs cognize, say, sense objects, or in other words, gunas perceive gunas, he who is wise does not identify himself with such phenomena, being unaffected by them. Now, this is a verse I will explain in detail. The gunas are acting in the gunas. What does this mean? Think about it. If I am eating a sour grape, I can see the color, I can see it is sour. When I put it in my mouth, I know it is sour. When I am eating an ice cream, I know it is cold. Beforehand only I know it is cold. Don't I know it is cold? Of course I know. Alright? The sun shines outside bright. It is very hot. It is winter in this place. It is going to be cold. If it is cold, I have to wear a sweater. Is it not common sense which will tell every person that this is what it is? Now, we discussed the things outside. We will discuss now relationships. Interesting topic. When you know that you have a son who is very picky and choosy and doesn't want to eat this and doesn't want to eat that, even when he becomes old, he will still be like that. When you have a daughter who likes to wear tomboyish clothes, even when she is 60 also she will wear the same kind of clothes. Is it not understood? It is their nature. You have a person who is an irritable character, constantly is irritating. Even when the person is dying, he is the biggest irritation on earth. He is still not dying. And everybody is looking at him. You should die, you should die. But the person is not dying, he is still an irritating. And then he'll look up and say, he's still like this, you see, irritating to the core. Okay? And there are some people who are very funny. Even when somebody is dead, they will be cracking a joke. But boss, you got to be serious at that time. No. He has his jokes coming in. Sick jokes like this, Even in the worst case scenario, the person is cracking jokes. Do you understand? Then there is an angry person. The person doesn't even require reason to get angry. Okay? If you have not kept the bedding properly, why haven't you kept the bedding properly? This is the way it has to be kept. Wow. There is no need to get angry, but the person gets angry because that is the inherent nature. So do you understand the gunas act in the gunas? What are the gunas? The sattva guna, rajas guna and the tama guna. What does it mean acting in the gunas? They are going to react exactly in the same way. There are lots of people who would love to go to a library. And there are people who hate the sound of the word library also. I got to read. Oh my God, I have never read. Study? I can't study. I've always passed in my examination. Why? Because I just mugged it up. But this is an idiot who has always done this in life. Why? Because that is the way they are. Zero knowledge. Understanding? Some people have no understanding at all. There are lots of foolish people. We call them Uncle Podger hangs a picture. Something like that. It's an old story. A foolish person is always going to be foolish. Please don't expect a foolish person to become sane. Never. And no tablets will even help that person. Okay? And no hypnotism also. Then we take another person who is angry as hell. You think their anger will go away? Nothing in this world will change them. There is no way in which things will change. So the organs cognize sense objects, or in other words, gunas perceive gunas. He who is wise does not identify himself with such phenomena, being unaffected by them. So this foolish person, when he looks at an object, the object creates that image in the mind of that person. Suppose there are people who are very conscientious in their work. They will find faults with other people who are not conscientious. There are some people who are on a fault finding spree. Fault finders. The light is not proper. The fan is making noise. This is not good. That is not good. They will constantly be nitpicking. See, the gunas are acting in the gunas through the senses and the sense objects. They look at an object and they see red. Okay? Now, this is how senses and actions are involved. The gunas work within the gunas. The foolish people are always indulging in these actions. That means an angry person is going to get angry. An idiot is going to become like an idiot. A person who is nitpicker is always a nitpicker. Somebody who finds fun in everything is going to find fun in everything. Somebody who has got a vitriolic temperament is going to be vitriolic in character. Everything that they speak from their mouth is just acidic in nature. Some people who are used to cracking all kinds of stand-up comedy jokes, they will be doing stand-up comedy constantly. And those who are sleepy will be always sleepy. Because the guna called tamas acts in that guna. Somebody who is never used to getting up at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the morning also will never get up. Now we come to the wise person. The wise person looks at all these and says, I am not involved in any of these things. The person who is getting angry is anyway going to get angry. What is the point of telling that person don't get angry? A foolish person is always going to be foolish. What is the point in even discussing with this person? No point. So the one inside who is called the wise one has this understanding that this foolish one is going to react to everything. You have seen it in your own case also. If you have a habit of getting upset at every juncture in life, isn't that wise one inside of you telling you after some time, see, you should not have been upset. It's fine. Everything is fine. But the wise one is always non-reactive. Doesn't even indulge, doesn't even act with that person. So, I hope you understood this person who is called the wise one, the wise bird that we are discussing over here, can see the senses and the sense objects reacting. He's a silent observer, he's a witness inside. Witnessing all the activity, knowing fully well that these are foolish acts. 100% knowledge that this is the stupidest person on earth. Who? You yourself. Okay? Not some other person. You know you are the stupidest person on earth because you are still going to do the same thing. I am not going to drink, the person says. Next time he sees a bottle, he's drinking. I am not going to smoke, the person says. He's going to smoke. Do you get this? This is how it works. So, the foolish person is going to do everything that they are supposed to do without exceptions. And the wise one inside is only the observer, knowing, has complete knowledge that what this idiot is doing outside is just like an idiot. Got it? They can identify with the phenomena being, but yet this wise one is unaffected. We'll move to the next verse. Living in the body, which is under the sway of the resultant of the past action, the foolish one, on account of work done by the organs, becomes bound by identifying himself with them. So, this is an example in which I will have to use certain body parts. Living in the body, in this body, which is the resultant, is under the sway of the resultant of past actions. If a person is involved in certain action consistently, what is the past action consistently? Let us look at it. Suppose the person is indulging in sexual activities and is always involved in that. So the moment the person sees, hears or touches or whatever, when the organs, which are called the sense organs, they react immediately. What do? They increase the sexual, that fervor inside that person immediately. And that is because of the past action. It's a resultant of the past action. If the person is highly sexed, the person is anyway going to involve himself in that activity, whether you like it or not. On account of the work done by the organs, the same organ is going to indulge itself in doing the same activity constantly by getting involved with the senses and the sense objects, which means a person who is used to doing some job with his organs is anyway going to do the same thing consistently. And when he does it consistently, exactly in the same way, he gets bound by those actions. Bound by those actions. Now, I want you to think of yourself as the person who is a judge in heaven. Maybe you are the Father in heaven or somebody. This person who is highly sexed, who is always involved in I want to have this and I want to have that, constantly thinking of activities like that. If you are that person in heaven who is going to give judgment, what will you make this person in next life? You see, maybe a dog or somebody, isn't it? This person has nothing else to do but only think of that constantly. Or some creature who is always indulging in it, isn't it? Think. These actions which a person does with the senses and the organ of action, they are going to be involved in it consistently. Alright? I'll give you another example. Somebody who is used to eating a certain kind of a dish. Let us say the dish is, say, mutton or chicken or some such kind of a thing. Every time their mind will say, today I got to eat mutton, today I got to eat chicken, today I got to eat this, today I got to eat that. Constantly in that track. And they are going to indulge in that activity whether you like it or not. The organ of action, eating, is going to work in that direction. Somebody who is used to robbing or pilfering things. You see, some people you will find in the office, they are used to picking up the pens and the pencils and erasers and the books around and the pads and everything. They will be used to taking those things consistently. Their hands cannot keep to themselves. So those who are involved in activities like, burglary and all will become burglars and will continue to do that thing. Somebody who is used to a particular kind of an activity consistently does it because his organ of action does exactly that. Someone who is used to running, walking, will keep on running and will keep on walking till the end of their life. Because according to them, running and walking is the best thing in the world. Go and ask a yogi. He will tell you sitting in one place is the best thing in the world. Because I can live for 1,000 years. And this fellow who is running and walking will die at the age of 60. See? But no. I am used to running. I will run. So those who are, let us say, painters, they will think of their hands painting. Those who are people who are indulging in walking and football and this and that, even in their dreams also they are going to be thinking of walking and football and running and this and that. Yes, they are going to. And these, they identify himself with that particular activity. This verse will teach us how we who are not supposed to be involved in all actions get involved in these actions and we do karma constantly. The mind keeps on coming and telling you, this is who you are, this is what you got to do, this is what it is all about. You have to do these actions. Drug addicts, when they do the injections or sniffing or whatever that they do, can you keep them away from that activity? No. They will find out ways and means by which they will try to reach that destination. Even when they have to open a book and see some pictures, they will see that picture only. Somebody who is used to all kinds of wrong activities will do wrong activities. That means a burglar or a person who is going to rob someone will always first go and see the place. He will take that entire picture and then he will say, oh, this is the way I got to do it. You have seen all those movies and all where they do, isn't it? Somebody who is used to boxing, fighting, this, that, he'll constantly, even in sleep, do the same thing. That is called the foolish bird. Please don't become foolish. You become the bird who is just an observer. See the actions of the organs, they are going to act and react exactly in the same way. Do not indulge in those actions. That is why the sages do not indulge in any action. The wiser you become, you know very well that this is not what you are supposed to do. You are not going to indulge in any activity. So we will stop over here, and next week we will begin from where we have stopped. The verse is 11 onwards, we will do next time. All right. So take care. Have a very good day. Bye.